You have grown in strength, but not in wisdom.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end of Black Myth Wukong, and it's time to face off against the final boss. In this guide, I'm going to show you the easiest way to defeat him. I'm going to be showing both the fights starting with the Stone Monkey, but I do want to point out that we'll be focusing primarily on the second part of the fight. We'll go over some key components, and then I'll show you how to cheese the final fight using just a little bit of patience. If you find this guide helpful, hit the like for me and consider dropping a sub on the channel. Let's get into it. I open with Immobilize and pump some initial damage. I do want to also note that I defeated this boss on my first attempt, so basically what I'm saying is the Stone Monkey shouldn't pose too much of an issue considering you made it this far, but it will require a lot of dodging, and here are some of the abilities to look out for. There's a slam combo that he does 4 times in a row that you can dodge roll. A simple melee attack pattern that's easily dodged. And then he did another variation of an extremely readable melee combo. At this point, we pushed into phase 2.
Phase 1. Pretty straightforward.
As soon as the phase opens, keep a little bit of distance. There's going to be a ring that he's going to spawn, and then it's going to collapse. You're going to want to dodge roll both of those, followed by a delayed slam. Here's another close range melee smash combo that you definitely don't want to get caught in. Eventually, you'll notice snow beneath your feet. This is basically impending doom if you don't dodge it. Sometimes there is an open gap closest to the boss, allowing free hits where there's no snow beneath your feet, and other times he freezes the immediate area, meaning you need to move away. If you do get caught in it, timing a roll can still evade all damage.
Woo!
At a range, he threw 2 slow projectiles and followed it with a slam. Eventually, the boss splits into 2. One form utilizes his lightning abilities, and the other uses his ice abilities. After a good chunk of damage, he will revert back to a single form. He opens up this final phase with the Fist Smash ability that radiates the circles from the beginning. If you do end up getting frozen like I do, spamming the dodge button will get you out of it. You'll notice in this final phase that he likes to swap back and forth between his lightning abilities and his ice abilities. Again, remember that this was my first and only attempt of the boss, so there may be some components missing, but this is really the gist of the fight. It should be pretty straightforward if you've gotten this far into the game, and what we're primarily focusing on in this video is going to be the next final form of the boss. And that introduces the Great Sage's Broken Shell. I always open with the Spirit ability, followed by my transformation immediately into monkey form. Make sure you maximize your transformation damage, because this will be a huge component of this strategy. And remember earlier how I was talking about patience? Well, we want our monkey ability to be used as many times as possible. So delaying the fight is something we'll be focusing on. After I come out of my transformation, I immediately activate my Weaver's Needle to assist with some damage. This is going to replenish during phase 2, which is why it's important to use it in the beginning of the fight. After activating my Weaver's Needle, I run away because, again, I want time to work in my favor in order to replenish my transformation in time for phase 2. I noticed that I always end up getting one free charged attack during this phase of the fight. So really, phase 1 is straightforward. You want to keep your distance. It baits out only a couple of attacks, and you'll see that the same holds true for phase 2, albeit with a little more dodging.
Okay. You gotta play real distant. Real distant.
At the start of phase 2, he always opens with this same double attack combo. You can dodge both attacks, and then it leaves an area open where I like to use my replenished transformation to deal some initial phase 2 damage. You're never going to want to waste your mana on Immobilize, but you are going to want to utilize Cloud Step to burn time and evade attacks. If you keep your range, one of the attacks he has is a variation of the attack he opened phase 2 with, and I'll show that here. It's basically an additional slam, and after he does it, you can pump a couple hits in. If you have the focus points saved up, you can use charged attacks. You do have to be careful because there is a chance that he grabs your charged attack and does a little bit of damage to you, but it seems like that only happens once a fight. Keeping your distance and wasting time will allow you to transform into monkey form again. And coming out of it, you just have to be careful because it may proc a close range melee combo. Again, you just want to screw right off and run away. At a distance, he can use a pillar form attack combo, which is pretty annoying. I actually haven't been able to dodge it successfully, but I've noticed that at a range, it gives me my best opportunity. He follows it with a slam, and we're going to show that here. It's important to remember that Cloud Step is pretty much the only ability that should be using mana. You're going to utilize this whenever you're low on health and you need to heal. As you just saw, after he uses the Ring of Fire ability, he does a pole charge, and you just need to be prepared to dodge that. Here, I notice I have some focus points, so I use another charged attack, and then you'll notice an additional melee combo that you're going to see on the screen now. We go right back to keeping our distance. Weaver's Needle cooldown should be back, as well as your Spirit ability. Assuming you've been evading the boss for long enough, you should have your transformation come off cooldown, and you'll want to utilize the monkey transformation yet again. So that's why the key component to this strategy is keeping distance. You will only have to deal with a maximum of 3 or 4 attack combos that are fairly easy to dodge. Even if you take the damage, you can use Cloud Step to get out of it and use a heal. This may not be the best strategy, but this is the only strategy that worked for me, and I know a lot of other people are struggling on this boss as well. So keep your distance, use your Cloud Step, make sure you get your transformation cooldown back, and use that monkey as much as possible for a guaranteed win on the final boss of Black Myth Wukong.
Holy.
That is going to wrap up the comprehensive guide by your man, General Insanity, on the Black Myth Wukong final boss. If this helped you out, make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know. If you guys have any better tips or tricks, leave some comments down below. Let's help out the community. And guys, last but not least, if you want to do me that massive favor and drop the sub, it would be Greatly appreciated.
为非作歹有天比，修得大手接福利，媳妇一死也就齐。